should be starting, and when you're ready, feel free to start.
Okay. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Gibson Nyendwa, and I'm a current student on an extended project focusing on the cybersecurity. As a student, I'm deeply engaged in studying cybersecurity. I've had the opportunity to explore various aspects of this critical field, and my academic journey has led me to diverge into the complexities of protecting digital information and understanding the ever-evolving landscape of cyber threat. Today's focus, I'm excited to share with you my research and study and the project that I am truly passionate about. The focus of my presentation this evening is on keyloggers, a topic that sits at the intersection of technology, security, and ethics. Interest in keylogger was sparked by the desire to understand how such tools can be wielded both as instruments for safeguarding digital assets and as weapons that threaten our privacy and security. This presents a fascinating challenge that I am eager to explore with you today. The overview of this presentation. In the following slides, we will uncover what keyloggers are, how they function, and the implications of their use in various contexts. We will examine the ethical considerations that surrounds their deployment and discuss strategies to protect against their unauthorized use. My objective this evening is to not only to inform, but also to foster the dialogue about the responsible use of keylogging technology. I look forward to engaging with you in a thoughtful discussion following this presentation. With that introduction, let's diverge into the world of keyloggers and unveil the layers of this compelling subject in cyber security. All right, this agenda, we'll begin with our exploration with an introduction to education keyloggers, and then we'll move to the tools that serve as a hands-on educational resource for students and professionals alike, providing insights into how keyloggers can be used for learning and awareness in cyber security. And then next, we'll diverge into the development process of an educational keylogger. This includes understanding the design principles, the functionalities it should provide, and the safeguards that need to be in place to ensure it's used for educational purposes only. And then we'll move to look at the examples. Example Python keylogger code. I will show you the code in the presentation. And then also move on to look at the types of keyloggers. And then we'll look at detecting keyloggers intrusion, defending against keyloggers, general project advice, and then ethical consideration. And then we'll conclude with a call to action. Okay, the next slide, which is navigating the world of keyloggers. Understanding the purpose and functionality of educational keyloggers. Let's start by diving into the core of education keyloggers. These tools are designed not only to breach privacy, but to enlighten and educate about the mechanisms of keylogging and cybersecurity threats. They simulate real-world cyber threats in a controlled environment, allowing learners to understand how keyloggers work, how data can be captured, and the potential risk involved. The functionality of educational keyloggers extend to demonstrating the process of data logging, encryption, and even transmission, all while emphasizing a hands-on learning experience. Identifying signs of unauthorized access and intrusion detection methods. Moving on to the critical aspect of cybersecurity, detecting unauthorized access. It's essential to recognize the signs of potential intrusions, which may include an unusual system behavior, unexpected files, or slow system performance. Intrusion detection method vary from simple antivirus scan to more sophisticated performance. Okay, moving on. Implementing security measures to protect educational systems. Implementing robust security measures is paramount. This includes regular software updates, using strong, unique passwords, and educating users about phishing and other social engineering attacks. Additionally, exploring network segmentations can protect sensitive data by isolating it from the broader. Encouraging the use of two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security, significantly reducing the risk of unauthorized access. Let's move to the next slide. Keyloggers definition. We'll look at the definition of the keyloggers. The name itself is quite telling. Key referring to the keystrokes on your keyboard, and logger meaning to record. Put simply, a keylogger is a tool that records the keys struck on a keyboard. It is a tool that records keys struck on a keyboard. It can be a piece of software as well, or a hardware device. And its primary function is to monitor and capture every keystroke made by a user. While keyloggers are often categorized as a type of spyware due to their ability to covertly collect information, it's important to recognize that they are not inherently malicious. Yes, in the wrong hands, they can be used for malicious purposes, such as identity theft or espionage. However, there is another side to the technology that must be acknowledged. Moving on to the benefits. Consider the benefit of keyloggers when used ethnically and with consent. In an educational setting or context, they can be invaluable tools for teaching cybersecurity, allowing students to see firsthand how data can be captured and what measures can be taken to protect against such vulnerabilities. In a workplace environment or setting, they can be used for monitoring compliance with IT policies, or for conducting treatment investigations into unauthorized or illegal activity. Also, I'll give an example. Imagine you are typing a password or entering sensitive information online, a keylogger, if present, would record every keystroke, capturing that confidential data, for example, your password. Now think about the implications of this ability, both the potential risk and the educational opportunities it presents. In summary of this keyloggers are a double two-edged sword. They serve as a stark reminder of the vigilance needed to protect our digital lives, yet they also offer a gateway to understand and defending against cyber threats. And we'll move on to the next slide, which is maximizing the educational value of Keylogger. Let's diverge into the practical application of educational Keylogger, which serves as a bridge between theoretical knowledge and the real-world cybersecurity practices. By engaging with keyloggers in a controlled environment, students can gain a hands-on understanding of these tools, of how they operate, the types of data they can capture, and the potential security implications. Examples of educational keyloggers in action. Imagine in a classroom scenario where students are tasked with creating a simple keylogger in Python. This exercise not only teaches them about programming, but also about how easily data can be intercepted. Following this, students could then learn to implement encryption techniques to protect the data, turning the exercise into a comprehensive lesson on both offensive and defensive cybersecurity strategies. The importance of ethical guidelines. While doing this, students should also bear in mind the ethical aspect of it. The use of keyloggers for educational purposes underscores the importance of ethical guidelines. Before embarking on such an exercise, it's crucial to establish clear rules that respect privacy and consent. For instance, these exercises should be confined to a lab environment, or for example, if a student wants to carry on an experiment, they should do it in a virtual machine, which will not actually pose any risk to the real machines or network they are working on. The ethical framework also ensures that students learn to respect the power of the tools they use, for example, the keylogger, which we are discussing about. The purposeful development and study of keyloggers can significantly enhance our understanding of cybersecurity concepts and defenses. By detecting how keyloggers work, students can better appreciate the complexities of cyber threats and the importance of robust cybersecurity measures. This knowledge is invaluable not just for protecting against keyloggers themselves, but in fostering a broader awareness of digital security. This is as you can see on the screen, this is the script for developing the keylogger. As we can see, it utilizes the Python libraries. One of the key libraries we use in this development of educational keylogger is PyPut. This library allows us to monitor and control input devices. For our purposes, it enables the capturing of key presses and releases, providing a hands-on way to understand how keyloggers function. Through simple script, like the one you can see on the screen, students can see the immediate output of their keystrokes, making the abstract concept of data interception more tangible. Like I mentioned earlier on, ethical considerations in development must be considered. As we diverge into the technical aspect, it's imperative to reiterate the importance of ethical considerations. The development of keyloggers, even for educational purposes, must be approached with a strong ethical framework. This includes ensuring that these tools are used solely within a secure, controlled environment. Like I mentioned earlier on, virtual machine would be an ideal environment to experiment this keylogger, such as for example, a classroom lab, and that they are designed to respect users' privacy and consent. For example, educational keyloggers should be programmed to only log keystrokes in a specific sandbox application rather than capturing all keyboards activities on a computer. Purpose and limitation. The purpose behind developing educational keylogger is not to train students to become hackers, but to equip them with the knowledge and skills to defend against such threats. By understanding how keyloggers are created and function, students can better appreciate the complexities of cybersecurity and the importance of implementing robust security measures. It's about turning potential threats into learning opportunities, thereby fostering a generation of ethically minded cybersecurity professionals. In summary of this slide, the development of educational keylogger using Python and libraries like output offers a practical hands-on approach to learning about cybersecurity threats and defenses. By grounding the technical operation in ethical consideration, we ensure that our educational endeavor contribute positively to the broad field of cyber. This slide just continues with from the previous slide about the keylogger code. The snippet demonstrates keylogger functionality, captures keystrokes and stores them in a file, as you can see on the screen. The first thing, our script begins by importing the necessary modules from the output libraries. The library is what allows us to interact with the keyboard. It's like getting the keys to the kingdom, allowing us to monitor every press and release of the keyboard keys. And then it storing press keys. It stores the information it captures. And then now it also it talks to press on function. This function is the heart of the script. It takes a key input, adds it to our key list, and then calls another function named write file to log these keys onto a file. The next slide, exploring the types of keyloggers. Like I mentioned, there are various types of keyloggers. As we can see on the screen here, it's important to understand that they come in various forms, each with unique methods of capturing user input. Today, we'll categorize keyloggers into two main types, which is the software-based keylogger, and as you can see here, the software keylogger. And then we have also the hardware keylogger. Software-based keylogger. Software-based keyloggers are programs installed on a computer system. They can be distributed through malicious downloads, email attachments, or malware infection. Once installed on a system, they run in a background, often to capture keystrokes, or some of them, they are more advanced. They can even do screenshots and sometimes even inputs from other devices like microphones or webcams. These keyloggers can be particularly insidious, as they can log sensitive information without the user's knowledge. Actually, that's the idea why hackers, they like to use them, because the owner of the machine will not even know that the keylogger is installed on their system. Hardware-based keyloggers, on the other hand, hardware-based keyloggers are physical devices. They are typically small and discrete, attached directly to a computer. They can come in a form of, for example, like a USB device, which they can, attach to your machine, and then it will be logging and recording and sending data to the hacker. In this case, if it's a hacker who is trying to see what you are doing on the machine. Some of them are designed to be between the keyboard plug and the computer, like I mentioned earlier, the USB or PS2 port, capturing keystrokes as they pass through. Because they are separate from the computer's operating system, they can be to detect with standard antivirus software. Sometimes when you use the antivirus software, can't detect them because of that. Capturing capabilities, regardless of the type of keyloggers, they are capable of capturing a wide range of data, while their primary function is to record keystrokes. Advanced keyloggers can also take screenshot, like I mentioned earlier on, and they can record inputs from other connected devices, providing a more comprehensive service. It is crucial to note the ethical implication of using such tools. While we discuss their capabilities, we must also consider the privacy rights of individuals and the legal frameworks that govern the use of surveillance technology. This would be, for example, in a work environment, if the IT want to monitor how the system are being used, they have to consider the privacy policy, and also obviously the rights of individuals who are using the system. Moving on, as you can see here, detecting the intrusion or surveillance of the tools. Like I said earlier on, you can use the antivirus to, that's one way we can, try to tackle this problem. We can also monitor intrusion. These are the signs how you would know that a keylogger is installed on your system. What would happen is that, the performance of your browser would be slow, a mouse or a keystroke lag, or sometimes you'll see that, for example, as you can see here, I'm moving my cursor on the screen. You'll notice that the cursor just disappears. That could be a sign of a keylogger installed on your system. And then also the task manager activities, you can monitor and review suspicious processes that may indicate a keylogger's presence. So we can, like I said earlier on, we can tackle this problem by using a regular malware scan. We can antivirus, scan the machine, and that can help us to detect if there's a keylogger on our system. Moving on, next is Obviously, we need system updates, regularly update systems to patch vulnerabilities that could be exploited by keyloggers and other malware. Educate users on self-computing practices and the use of password manager to enhance security awareness against keyloggers, and also maintain a balance between technical defenses like cybersecurity tools and system updates and user education to create a comprehensive defense strategy against keyloggers. The next slide just talks about the general project advice. If someone was to do this, these are the guidelines which I followed when I was developing this keylogger presentation. Consider presenting findings through a simulated environment. Like I mentioned earlier on, a virtual machine would be ideal to do this experiment. Of course, partner with cybersecurity professionals for insight and mentorship, which brings you, Matthew, in this. Obviously, there was consultation, and as I'm presenting now, you'll be able to guide and see if I'm in the right direction. And also, like I said, legal and ethical implications of keyloggers, following cybersecurity ethics while developing this keylogger for educational purposes. And then the pros and cons, of course, promote responsible cybersecurity practices by raising awareness of potential security vulnerability. Use this for educational purposes. And then the cons, potential invasion of privacy if not used ethically or in a controlled setting. And there is risk of misuse of a keylogger. Unauthorized access to sensitive information can be captured by a keylogger. Like I said, you would use this keylogger in you demonstrate this in a simulated environment, which is safe to do so. Sandbox, virtual machine would provide that environment to do the experiment. And also, this will provide an opportunity for a hands-on practice for students to truly hone their skills, practicing, detecting keyloggers, learning how to implement defense strategies and respond to simulated threats. Call to action. As we conclude our exploration of educational keylogger, let's reflect on the valuable insights we've gained. We have seen how these tools can illuminate the inner workings of cybersecurity threats and defenses, providing us with a deeper understanding of how to protect digital assets. This would also help us to understand the critical balance between technical development and ethical consideration. It's not enough to simply know how to build or counteract keyloggers. We must also understand that the ethical implication of these actions. Responsible cybersecurity practices are built on these foundations of balance, ensuring that our technological advancements serve to protect and not to harm. I guess this encouraged all cybersecurity practitioners and myself, this is what I've learned from this, to continue fostering a comprehensive understanding of cybersecurity. The knowledge I've gained, which I've shared today about educational keylogger, is just one piece of the puzzle. Ethical education in cybersecurity is an ongoing journey, one that requires us to be ever vigilant and informed. Final thoughts. Sorry. Yeah, move on to the final thoughts, which is the next slide. In the next slide, as we can see here, I just want to, in closing, as closing this presentation, I want to take this moment to express my heartfelt thanks to those who have been instrumental in this journey. It's often said that no one achieves anything worthwhile alone, and my experience has been a testament to that truth. My appreciations goes to Hugh Brooks and Nikki Bodley. Firstly, a special thanks to you, Matthew and Nikki, and of course the entire team for your support. You have been a cornerstone of my learning and development. The guidance you've provided and the insights you have shared and the encouragement you have offered have been invaluable. Working with you both has been a pleasure and a great privilege. Also, like I mentioned earlier on, gratitude to the administration team. I also want to extend my gratitude to the entire administration team. Your tireless effort behind the scenes have not gone unnoticed. The smooth running of the project and the success of this project as much your achievement as on a personal note, I owe each one of you a debt of gratitude that will last my lifetime. The support you've shown, the presence you have had in the understanding have extended, made all the difference. So thank you again, Matthew and Nikki, and the administration team for everything. Your impact on my journey is profound, and I'm truly, truly grateful. Thank you. I think that's the end of my presentation.
Thank you, Gibson. That was great. I do have a couple of questions to ask you.
Okay.
So, firstly, looking back at your project, is there anything that you would have done differently? And if so, what and why?
Yeah, I think I remember the feedback I had from you. You know, I think next time if I was to do differently, I would not have chosen this topic. I think this topic is very complicated. It's more advanced. I know it refers back to what we've been learning, what I've been, what we've learned, threats, defensive, offensive, detection and all that. But I think, yeah, I think if I was to do differently, I would have chosen a different topic, which wasn't more complicated. I think this one, it involves, it was more, there was more things on this project. It's not like was focused on, I feel like there is a lot of bits and pieces on this project from other areas as well. So I think that's what I would have done differently. I don't know if I've answered correctly your question.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, it's not really a right or wrong answer. I'm just curious on your experience project. All right. Okay. So another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Which of the resources you use proved to be the most useful to you, and why?
Okay. Yeah, I think the resources, the libraries. I looked at the previous projects on the platform. I did a lot of reading of the previous projects, and also of course the on the platform, the learning platform, the videos and the videos I watched from experts, presentation when experts were giving their thoughts about, for example, forensic. They will talk about forensic security, how they and penetration testing, and cyber threats and all that. Yeah, I think all that information helped me to put my presentation together, and I was actually referring to that while doing all my research. Yeah.
Good. And when you developed the Keylogger, did you have experience in Python before, or did you use some online resources to help you with that?
I use this some YouTube University.
Yeah,
Thankfully,
yeah, absolutely. We all do it.
It's a free university resource. Yeah, I use some of the YouTube videos on Python, how to develop a keylogger and how it works and all that. Yeah, I watched a lot of videos as well as just on Google Books, Google Scholar. There I found some reading materials as well about that, which helped me to put this presentation together.
Great. And then one last question for you. So what areas of the project do you think could provide future exploration or opportunities to develop further?
Okay. I've always had passion, in risk management. I would say GRC. I think that's the area I would like to focus on moving forward as a specialist in cybersecurity. I like, I'll be on the defending side, the blue team, and more focused on administration, the security, like policies and setting up policies and managing policies and developing policies for defending the businesses and threats. Yeah, I think that's the area I find more. I would say I'm more technical as well, but if I was to specialize, I would focus on GRC as the branch of cybersecurity. I would focus moving forward.
Great. Right, yeah, that's all the questions I had. So again, thank you for that. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I stop the recording? Or are you okay at this point?
Well, I think I'm okay. I think I've said everything. I don't know. Sometimes when the meeting is over, then that's when you think, oh, I should have said that. I should have asked. Yeah, but I think again, I just want to say thank you for your understanding, your support, both you and Nikki and the entire team. They've been brilliant. It hasn't been easy, more especially, right now I work. I do mostly nights and days, and sometimes it was difficult just juggling with the work and working on the assignments and research and reading and going through the material. It hasn't been an easy journey, but here we are. So I just want to say thank you again for your support and your understanding as well with all this, missing the deadlines and all that. Yeah.
That's fine. It happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
All right, great. We'll stop the recording.
Okay. All right.
Now.